Hi, this is attorney Stephen Spano.
And I'm attorney Andrea Witt with a Legal and Financial Minute or two.
In our first episode of this series on scams, we discuss the explosive increase in scams against individuals and companies. In this episode, we will discuss your very first line of defense in telephone scams and the very simple steps you can take to protect yourself.
It happens to all of us. The phone rings, and without looking at the caller ID, we answer it. The scam starts here. The first simple step you can take to minimize telephone scams is to avoid answering any calls where you do not know the identity of the caller.
My wife doesn't even answer for me. Well, what about if you're waiting for a call back from someone? Ask them from what number the person will be calling you from, and look at the caller ID when your phone rings to see if the number given to you is the number actually calling you. If not, even if you're expecting a call, don't answer. Don't worry about missing calls. If it's important, the caller will leave a message and you can return the call after you verify the number.
So what if you do miss a call and the caller does leave a message for you to call them back and even leaves a phone number?
Don't call that number unless you verify that it really is legitimate. If the message says it's from a caller that you were expecting, don't call back the number that was left on the message. Instead, call the number that you originally called when you worked with that company or individual, not the number that the person left you.
What if it's from a number or caller that you were not expecting? Look up the business and call it directly, or enter the number that the caller left for you in a Google search to see if it really belongs to the company or person calling you. If it's not someone you deal with, don't call back.
What if the caller ID does show a number that you think you realize? Well, unfortunately, with today's technology, scammers can do something called spoofing, which causes your caller ID to show the name of a caller you recognize and possibly even their phone number, even though it's really a scammer calling you.
These calls are often one-ring hang-up calls, where your phone rings, you see it's the caller ID of someone you may recognize, and then it hangs up. You immediately call the number back and say, "Hi, Stephen, what happened? You hung up on me." You might even say a couple more things like, "Are you okay?" or something else, because the scammers may wait and not speak so that you reveal more information.
Unfortunately, what did you do? You just revealed critical information to the scammer. They can now say, "Yes, this is Stephen, but I'm in an emergency situation and I hung up accidentally and I really need help." And what kind of help do they need? It's always financial help. Don't fall for these scams.
With today's technologies, you can't even trust the phone. You must verify everything.
Remember, we are all at a disadvantage when dealing with scammers. That's because the scammers are not stupid lone wolf individuals. They're highly sophisticated, multi-million-dollar organizations.
Never answer any call from an unknown number.
Never give out any information to a caller that calls you.
Always verify the identity of every caller.
And if you accidentally answer a call, pretend you have something burning on the stove and you can call them back in 15 minutes. That will give you time to verify their information.
Be sure to join us for our next episode of a Legal and Financial Minute or two. We will review the two newest types of telephone fraud involving relatives and your finances, and how you can take control of those scams.
Remember, all lawyers and law firms are not the same. Seek out an expert law firm to protect you and your family.
We hope this Legal and Financial Minute or two has helped you and those you love to protect your health, your assets, your income, and preserve your way of life.
If you have something you would like us to address in one of our segments, or have a question on this or any other legal or financial topic, feel free to call or text Spano, DeWicki, and Witt at 781-231-7800 or email us at help@spanodewicki.com.